Hello everybody, this is Dr. Aparna from Anurag Group of Institutions, CVSR College of Engineering. Communication is a very important function in a person's life. We communicate to improve our relationships, we communicate so that we reach out to others. English language has emerged as a lingua franca, that is, it is a language that is spoken widely across the world. It bridges countries, it brings people closer together. The basic pillars of a language are acquiring the LSRW skills, that is, listening, speaking, writing, and reading skills. Any language can be improved if you have a lot of vocabulary. Let us concentrate more on the writing skills. Why is writing so important? Just as you speak and convey your emotions or your feelings or the thoughts that come into your mind, the same way you need to put your thoughts on the paper also. Writing is a very, very important aspect of learning a language. How do we learn how to write well? Well, everything cannot be learnt in a classroom and everything cannot be taught by a teacher. The best way to write is to read. The more you read, the more vocabulary you gather and the more words are stored in your mind. The more you read, the more you will be able to write. So the best way to write is to read more and more. Read newspapers, read books, read journals, read magazines, and then you can start writing. Start putting your thoughts on papers. See that sentences are formed, connect those sentences, and finally put forth your work and give it to the people who you think are better than you. Ask them to go through this and find mistakes for you. This is a way you can improve on writing. Paragraph writing is a very important aspect of writing. What is paragraph? A paragraph is a collection of sentences which deals with one topic. Always remember, a paragraph has a theme or a topic. You should not deviate from that topic. All sentences that you write should be related to that topic. Good paragraphing will help you, especially when you are drafting and revising your work. If the topic and the sentences that are written in a paragraph are not related to the topic or the theme, remember that your readers will not be able to follow you. Always understand that paragraph writing is an art that can only be acquired with more and more practice. Supposing you are writing about animals, for instance, you first start talking about mammals. You start writing about a cow. Then suddenly you wish to write about horses. So that will not be one paragraph. You are transgressing from a cow to the horse. So that is another paragraph. But then paragraph writing deals with only one topic. So remember that a good paragraph has a topic sentence and all the sentences that you write are related to that topic. Next, always remember that paragraph is actually a short form of an essay. It is of a short length and it is written only in one paragraph. If you write two paragraphs, then it is not considered as paragraph writing. Let us learn what are the qualities of a good paragraph. A paragraph has theme, unity, order, and variety. Let us understand all these four aspects in detail. Theme is nothing but the topic or the topic sentence. The topic sentence is the main part of a paragraph. You are going to explain this theme in detail. But then you should not write unnecessary things which will digress from the main theme. So the theme is the topic sentence of your paragraph. Next comes unity. Now, whatever you write about this theme should have a unity. All the sentences that follow the topic sentence, which actually is there in the beginning of the paragraph. A topic sentence is always there in the beginning of the paragraph. It can occur in the middle. It can also occur at the concluding part. But then generally topic sentences occur at the beginning of the paragraph. The sentences that you write after that are trying to explain this topic sentence. There should be unity. There should be unity in the sentence. They should be written in a logical order. For instance, I'll give you a small example. You are writing about a cow. This example was something which I gave earlier also. Suddenly, the next 2 lines you start writing about a horse. Then there is no unity in the sentences. You are supposed to write on a cow, but then you are digressing, you are deviating from the cow and you have started talking about some other sentence. So that should always be maintained. The third most important aspect is the order. The order of sentences is very, very, very important. Remember that when you are talking about the cow, you can have different orders. For instance, you can talk about the physical attribute of the cow. Then you can tell about how the cow is useful. For example, try not to do this. A cow is a mammal. It has 2 hooves, 2 horns, it is white in color, it has a tail, it has 4 legs. This is a physical attribute. Now you do not start saying that a cow is a mammal, it has 2 hooves, it has a tail, it eats grass, it gives us milk, it also has 4 legs. So there is a break. First you have to talk completely about the physical aspect, then talk about the uses of the cow. That is how the order of your paragraph should be. You should not first talk about physical aspect, then talk about how the cow is useful, and then come back and start describing its tail and legs. That is not how the order of a paragraph should be. The fourth most important aspect of paragraph writing is there should be variety. Your sentences should not be monotonous. When people are reading your paragraph, they should not get bored. You should keep shifting from long sentences to short sentences. Your grammar should be correct and your sentences should be written in simple English. All these 4 aspects, that is theme, unity, variety and order, contribute to writing a good paragraph. Let us now understand the structure of a paragraph. As such, there is no hard and fast rule of how to write a paragraph or what can be the structure of a paragraph. But I will tell you the structure which is normally followed all over by all the people. Okay. A paragraph is divided into 3 parts. That is the topic sentence, the supporting sentences and the conclusion. That is the introduction, the body and the conclusion. The introduction part is your topic sentence. You are introducing the topic. The supporting sentences will speak more about this topic and the conclusion is the summary of the entire content that you have written about the topic. The simplest way to express this is say what you want to say it and conclude it by affirming what you have said. That is the structure of a paragraph. Always remember, the paragraph should have an introduction, a body and a conclusion. That is the topic sentence, the sentences that are supporting it and the summary of what you have tried to say about the topic. Let us understand the pre-writing steps that are required before you start writing a paragraph. Many of you must be writing paragraphs for the first time. Yes? Now, what steps do you really require before you start writing a paragraph? The first important thing is think carefully. What do you want to write about? Find answers to this particular question. What do you want to write about? And then start searching. Should I write, supposing you are writing about nature, for example, then you should be with, is it necessary for you to sit with nature to write a paragraph on nature? In a city like Hyderabad, it is very difficult to see hills and trees and woods and streams. Probably you can go to a park or a garden and sit there. That is the closest you can possibly get to nature. So sit there, look around, and then you will suddenly realize that probably nature is a very broad subject. Why don't I write about this garden or this park wherein I am sitting? So you have a topic with you. Start writing sentences that are related to the garden. Just go around, just see around and see what are the things that you see and observe in the park. There are children playing, there are flowers, there are trees, there are people who are walking in the walking track. So you start jotting down these ideas. These small things will help you in writing a paragraph and it will bring out your originality. So this is a very important aspect. You must first think within your heart, what is it that I want to write? Find the answer to that. When you are able to do that, you have got your topic sentence. Once you have the topic sentence, start jotting down points that are related to that. Then follow the same order that I told you previously. It should have a theme, it should have a unity, there should be a variety, and there should be order in all the sentences that you have written. After you have written a rough draft, just go through it and see, have I made any mistakes? Is there any mistake in grammar, in spelling, in punctuation? These are certain pre-writing steps that you need to keep in your mind before you start writing a paragraph. Now let us understand what are the guidelines for writing a good paragraph. Once you have the topic sentence, see that you do not deviate a lot from what you have written. For example, when you are writing about the garden, just talk about what you have seen in the garden. Don't talk about the road and the buses that you see outside the garden. Then what happens is you are digressing, you are moving away. So come back to your theme, stick to your theme. Since paragraphs are short in their structure and not very long, you cannot afford to write things which are not really related to the theme. Then, as I said, write short and long sentences. If you think a sentence is very long, try to break it up and see that you have two small sentences, because the longer the sentence, the more monotony it creates. It does not sustain the interest of the reader. Always remember, writing a good paragraph is an art. This is the second time I am telling you. People, when they read your paragraphs, should want to read more paragraphs that are written by you. Always check your grammar, always check your spelling. If you want to introduce a word, then you must always have a dictionary handy, because introducing new words, you should know the exact meaning of those words. Just don't write words because they sound good or because you have read them somewhere. These words should be related to your topic and the theme. These are the basic guidelines that you should keep in mind while writing the paragraph. The sentences should be in order. There should be a variety in the sentences. Always remember that your paragraph should be woven beautifully so that everybody enjoys reading your paragraph. Now let us see how are you going to edit these paragraphs. Editing is a very important thing, because when you read your paragraph, you may come across many mistakes. You may think that you have repeated something very often. So you must remove those mistakes, you must remove those repeated sentences, or you must remove repetition. You must check your spelling, you must check your grammar, you must see whether every sentence has a subject, you must see whether the verb and the subject go hand in hand together, that is, your concord is correct. You must check for any other grammatical mistake that you find in your paragraph. Let us now see about your style and organization. How can you edit that? Always remember the structure of the paragraph. See that you have the introduction, the topic sentence is clearly mentioned. It is easily understood by your readers. See, the sentences that follow the topic sentence are closely related to it. See that they have an order, they have unity, and then see that your conclusion is to the point. Don't exaggerate, don't write more than what is really required. After everything is over, go and show it to your teacher or to a person who understands paragraph writing better, so that they can help you, they can guide you in writing better paragraphs. These are the basic steps of editing paragraphs. Now let us understand what a guided paragraph is. In your non-detailed text, you will come across a lot of guided paragraphs which are attached to your short stories. They are actually incomplete paragraphs. They are hints and phrases which are given to you, and you have to weave these hints together to form a complete paragraph. I will give you an example of a guided paragraph. Let us see what that example is. Education degenerates into a purposeless accumulation, a useless knowledge, a laborious exercise of mind, not an aimless digestion of knowledge, wisdom, character and skills. Three necessary aims of education: free thinking and developed perspectives. Tagore and Vivekananda, not for purposeless and useless knowledge, not for a laborious exercise of knowledge. Now, these are the hints that are given to you. You have to join these hints together, these phrases together, to form a good paragraph. Let us see what this paragraph would probably look like after you have joined these hints together. The title of your paragraph can be The Purpose of Education or The Aim of Education. This is how your paragraph would look like. We must realize that education should not be degenerated into a purposeless accumulation of useless knowledge. It should not be reduced to a laborious exercise of mind. It is not a mechanical process of learning, because it is not an aimless digestion of knowledge. It is not an end in itself, but a means to an end. Wisdom, character and skills are the three essential aims which end in free thinking and developed perspectives. The aim of education is to produce great people like Tagore and Vivekananda, but not people of purposeless and useless knowledge with laborious exercise of mind. This is what a guided paragraph can be. I hope you will be able to do many more such exercises on your own. Now let us see what are the different types of paragraphs. Now, what you wish to write is very important. Are you trying to persuade people? Are you trying to inform people? Or are you trying to educate people? So, there are different ways in which you can write different types of paragraphs. There are 4 types of paragraphs: narrative paragraph, persuasive paragraph, descriptive paragraph and expository paragraph. Let us try to understand each and every one of them. Narrative paragraph is narrating incidents in a chronological order. For example, you are asked to write about a journey and you start writing about a train journey. So, how are you going to write that? How are you going to narrate it? This will come under a narrative paragraph. You can say, your title can be My Train Journey. You can start saying that I went to the station, I saw a lot of people on the platform, and then we got up onto the train. The journey was very interesting. So, how are you writing these incidents? You are writing them in a chronological order. Such a paragraph is called as a narrative paragraph. The next kind of paragraph is expository paragraphs. I'm sure you all read newspapers. Most of the articles written in the newspapers have expository paragraphs. That is, they try to expose the truth. They try to tell you about things that have happened. So, they are trying not only to expose, but they also try to tell you the facts that are related to what has happened. A paragraph that exposes something or that informs something, that tries to make you understand something, is called as a expository paragraph. Such paragraphs can be commonly seen in the newspaper. Then you have got descriptive paragraph, that is describing. You can describe things with adjectives. As and when people read your paragraph, they get more and more interested. They start visualizing what you have written. For example, you can say, I was sitting in a beautiful garden. The topic obviously will be garden. And here surrounding me are beautiful flowers and trees. Variety of flowers that are yellow, pink, purple in color. So all these colors are now flitting across the mind of the reader. This is a descriptive paragraph. They are beautiful flowers. The trees are tall and strong. So what are the adjectives that you are using? Beautiful, tall, strong. So these are the words that you would probably use in a descriptive paragraph. The next paragraph is persuasive paragraph. You want to persuade people to agree with you. So how are you going to persuade them? You give them facts. You support your statements with facts and say that this is a good concept, you must accept it. For example, you are writing about your canteen. There are samosas in your canteen that are very good and very delicious. You want people to eat those samosas. You are writing about samosas on your canteen. Obviously, your topic would be samosas. So, how are you going to persuade? Our canteen has the best samosas. They are delicious. They are stuffed with potatoes and peas. The best part about our samosas are they are small and easy to handle, and they don't cost much. Moreover, our canteen person gives a cup of tea free with the samosas. So, this becomes a persuasive paragraph. You are persuading people to accept to your point of view. So, how many types of paragraphs have you learnt today? You have learnt about narrative paragraphs, expository paragraphs, descriptive paragraphs and persuasive paragraphs. I hope now you have understood that paragraph writing is not that difficult. It is quite easy, but all it needs is a lot of practice and a lot of interest. That interest should be there within you to write your own paragraph which has your own stamp of originality on you. So please go around places in your school, around gardens and lawns and on the road, and search for topics that are close to your heart and start writing whatever comes in and start editing. I am sure you will go on to write good paragraphs in future. All the best.